Ethos of Silence.
A veteran podcast aims to amplify the voices of veterans, creating a safe space for authentic conversations about their experiences, challenges, and triumphs. We seek to break the stigma surrounding mental health and foster community support, resilience, and understanding. Through storytelling, expert insights, and candid discussions, we strive to inspire healing, promote awareness, and empower veterans on their journeys.
Welcome. All right, off to the races.
Let's go.
Welcome back, Ethos of Silence.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a good Memorial Day. Tim, how was your Memorial Day?
Oh, man, it was fun. It was beautiful.
Uneventful. Gulf Coast of Mississippi, a little unsurprising event. Wife said, let's jump in and go. So I'm like,
come on, man.
More time away from all the stress.
Come on, man.
Don't have to twist my arm.
Man, I wish I had money like you going hit the coast, huh?
I did. I know. I did.
How can you be retired? You got to be on a budget. You know, I feel that way.
You certainly do. You got to go from free play to free play, free play to free play.
Yeah.
$10 here, $10 there. So, yep.
So who we got with us today there, Kev?
Today we have joining us our new friend Mike, and in fact, new member of our VFW Post. Mike served in the Navy. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. What years did you serve in the Navy, Mike?
1982 to 92.
1982, 92, about 10 years.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Where did that start at?
Family.
Okay.
My whole family, my dad, my grandfather, all of them were uncles, were all Navy. And as a young man, not knowing what you want to do in life,
right?
What better than go to the military? You get to see the world. Yes, you do have a job, but you serve at a bigger purpose.
Yeah. And if I'm broke, I've got a roof over my head and a chow hall to go eat at.
And the food was great. I was the cook. I know. The food was great. I had all my medical, And as a young man, it's a guidance. You walk in as a piece of wood. And when you leave out of that basic training, you are made into a statue. You are made into something.
Yeah.
It teaches you responsibility.
The Navy makes you into statues, huh? Man, I didn't know they sculpt you in like a Greek god statue, huh?
Look, you were Marines. They sculpt you.
Oh, no. I know the Marines are sculpted.
Very much.
We all got sculpted in some kind of way. But it taught you responsibility.
Okay.
Lots of responsibility. And then me personally, as I would recommend it to any young man who doesn't have a goal in life the way he wants to go.
Of course.
Yeah.
Join up. Serve your country. The freedom that he has is only because we gave.
Yeah.
And it's a no-brainer.
You're not trying to sell anybody at this table. We've all served.
No, it's actually trying to sell somebody out there listening that don't know what he's doing in life.
I hope so.
Don't have no focus. Don't have focus what they want in life.
Exactly.
Camera's got us all in focus.
Oh yeah, no, we're good. We're good.
He's got a wide angle on it. Good stuff.
We're good with the chairs. I mean, they're a little outside of it, but they're not comfortable. It's fine.
It's all good.
I'm fine with it.
So tell me, so Mike, you said you started with your family. Do you have family that's already that served prior, and
yes,
so you have kind of a heritage?
Yeah, my daddy, my grandfather, my uncles, they were all Navy.
Okay.
So I said, well, I'm gonna do the Navy.
Okay.
Went to the Navy. Then my brother, he goes Air Force. Black sheep. No, he went to the Air Force, and I have nephews in the Air Force.
Was he at least an officer? Did he become a pilot, or I mean, what did he do in the Air Force?
Loaded bombs.
Loaded bombs. Okay, so he was an ordnance technician on the aircrafts.
And drove by you on a bike on PT while you were doing push-ups. Okay.
I don't know. I was underwater half the time on the submarine. So
okay, submarines. Okay.
Yeah, so I started my aircraft carrier, the USS Forest Star, which anybody in the Marines would know all of. It was a movie called Trial by Fire, which was one of the biggest explosions on the deck and killed many. Well, I was on that boat.
Oh, wow.
And on that ship, should I say. And it was weird because working on that thing, knowing the history of what had actually happened with that but that missile going off that plane.
That's the one where the politician or the
I wasn't going to mention no name.
He's the one who jumped out of the aircraft, though, right? I'm not trying to throw the name, but that's the big famous one that he's the one who jumps out of the aircraft. Right? I wasn't trying to say his name either.
Right, I wasn't going to say his name.
We know who it is. It's just the big famous one. Try and get some attention to it.
Think about it.
The big famous one where he jumps out of there. Okay, yeah.
Go to it, back off.
And
just making sure I'm thinking of the right explosion because there's been so many.
Right. Well, I was there for that, and I worked the coolers. I went from the bottom on up, from cooking for 5,000 to cooking for the Admiral.
Okay, that's cool.
Outstanding. Yeah.
So here's a question we ask everybody who kind of gives us a little bit of their history. We realize you were outside of the military when this happened, but where were you at when 9/11 happened?
9/11. Actually, I was working at the penitentiary.
Okay.
And I was sitting at home. My wife came in with this look of horror on her face.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And she turned the TV on. I was flabbergasted. How can we let people come into our country and do this to us on our ground? It's like, wait. It was a shock. But
country suffered a great trauma.
Yeah, a big trauma.
But we all pulled together and we pulled through it, and we are where we are now. It made
us tougher than it was before.
Yeah,
because we were slacking, and you have to look at what's going on in the country to see where we heading.
Yeah, we had a time back previous to that where things were, as a comparison to now, on each level, the home, the friendships, the families, what you did on weekends previous to all that, and then you went into this. So asked a lot to questions about
let's jump into the camaraderie of what you had to have being on a submarine, because you're in such close quarters with how many people are in this sub? Because the submarine's maybe 20, 30 feet. We're
tell you what
thinking the size of an RV under the ocean.
Yeah, how big and what sub was it?
I'll tell you what I can tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, it was a fast attack sub.
Okay.
It was a nuclear fast attack. It was not a boomer, so we didn't go under for 3 months and come up for 3 months. We went under and didn't know how long we were going to come up.
Okay.
When or where or what we were doing.
Oh.
We've done under ice expeditions where I was under 120 feet of ice. When you got it, and everybody's biggest question, well, what did you see underwater? You don't see nothing.
I didn't see anything. I saw the skillet in front of me because I was cooking food.
There's no windows here. I mean, we took a suntan on a nuclear reactor. We laid on top of the reactor, make sure you get too many rays, because you were pale when you was underneath that water, because you're breathing the same oxygen. You're making your own air. You're making everything you see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the camaraderie, you worked 12 and you stayed in your bunk for 12, or you went to the torpedo room and lifted weights.
Okay.
But your biggest thing was to study the ship.
Cool.
Because if you died, I had nobody to replace you. I just can't go up and grab another replacement.
I got to know how to do your job and mine.
I got to know how to do your job and my job and other people's job.
Cross-train.
So you studied the ship, and I became ship qualified. If you're a ship qualified, you have your silver dolphins or your gold dolphins if you're an officer. And somebody, even the officer, told me something that he didn't have his dolphins. I would just give him that look. Who are you talking to? You don't even know the ship yet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
So you would, but it was the thing you never run out of is coffee, and back then was cigarettes.
Okay.
You could smoke on a submarine back then. But coffee was one of your major things you never ran out of.
I bet that would suck to have to be a smoker and you go and you can't smoke on a submarine for X amount of time. Like, oh man.
I used to bring. I was a cook, so we didn't have to hot bunk.
Yeah.
Most people had a hot bunk. When you got out of your bed, you rolled your bedroll up. Somebody come lay theirs down, and they slept in that same bunk. Or being a cook, you didn't have to do that. And I had a bedpan about that deep, so I had about this much, a little bit of bedpan, a little square area that I had my clothes, and the rest was cigarettes.
Yep.
Because I was buying them for $4 a carton at the PX. And
that's a lot. That's a deal.
Selling them.
Later, once we've been out there for a month, you paying top dollar.
We got 5. You got 5. You got 6. You got 6. Here you go for you.
Yeah.
$100 a pack.
You're out. You don't got
$5 a cigarette, and they would buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
That's called an addiction.
The mother my mother would wonder.
It's a stretch for capitalism, but
She'd tell my daddy. She said, "How come Mike's sending all this money home?" My dad said, "He's got a slush fund. I know what he's doing."
You're not coming on the sub without knowing Mike.
So how do they
do a few things around here?
So is there a mail submarine that delivers the mail to you, or what?
No, we didn't have none of that. And
if you need it, Mike can get it for you. Okay.
You see, that's the same thing. You was on a boat, aircraft carrier. We used to send a guy out there just for fun in the North Atlantic.
Yeah.
And we'd give him a hook pole, and we'd give him a vest and hook him to the pad eye on the deck, and tell him he had mail buoy watch.
Oh my gosh!
And here you're in the North Atlantic with 30-foot waves that are hitting the second level, and he's hooked to the deck waiting for a mail buoy. And we'd see how long he would sit out there. Guys would be out there 6-7 hours, and they'd come in. You didn't get the mail buoy? I didn't see a mail buoy. You missed it, And
that's the best entertainment I can imagine on a ship.
I mean, you got to break the ice some kind of way.
Absolutely,
I hear you.
for sure.
I hear you.
So did you couldn't name this up though? Yeah,
yeah. I can name it. I was on the USS Berghoff.
Just for those that might be out there, you never know.
That's
the
cool.
USS Berghoff.
Okay, the Berghoff.
Fast attack out of Virginia.
Out of Virginia, Atlantic, and on the East Coast. Outstanding.
It was, school was in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Right in Connecticut. Left there and got stationed in Virginia, and we did live a little bit better than the ship's people because we had like 6-story condominiums that we lived in on the base.
Oh wow. Yeah. Treated good there, huh?
Yeah, we got treated good because it was hard to get anybody to go on submarines.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Your mentality level has to be there. You have to see psychiatrists and go through all this. I mean, it's...
The cook has to have some specialty stuff.
It's really good to think of that back then they gave that much of an approach and forward thought into the fact of it happening, because a lot of things we've ran into the podcast, we're finding people who did things and at different times, like the way they've handled us coming back from deployments and different things like that. It's different. So it's nice to know that the Navy put that much forward thought into putting people in a submarine that, hey, look, we need to not put somebody down there who's going to go crazy.
And we have had it, because people don't realize, but you could take a pin and drop it on the deck in the submarine, and 5 miles away they can hear that noise.
Yeah.
Because sound travels so much on the water.
Amplified, exactly.
So if we had anybody that would actually lose it, we would have to have the medic
sedate him because he's going to give away your location.
And we would line the torpedo tubes with mattresses, and we'd put them inside the torpedo tube, handcuff him, and sedate it.
That was my next question.
Because, I mean...
Where you put him?
Yeah, because, I mean, if you went ultra quiet, when you drop to that bottom of that ocean, you under ultra quiet, that means everything's shut down. If you're sitting here, you sit there until it's over with. I don't care if it's 2 weeks.
Damn.
You sit there. You don't go to the bathroom. You don't do nothing.
It's intense warfare.
Well, aircraft carrier, you can take hits. And we got watertight integrity. You're going to live. Submarine, you ain't taking no hits.
No.
Wow.
So
amazing.
The worst thing I ever had to do on an aircraft carrier was, it was in 2009, and we caught the swine flu on the ship, so we had to stay at sea for 60 days, and we didn't get to hit any ports. So we had to do resupplies at sea.
They did a Steel Beach picnic for y'all?
We did 2 Steel Beaches. That's how long we did 2 Steel Beaches.
2 beers every so many days.
Yes.
Yeah, I was in charge of the beer locker on the USS 4-Star, me and my Master Chief. Great job.
Imagine that. This doesn't surprise me, Mike. You'd be in charge of this.
And being a Cajun, I just took an old coffee pot and I gutted it, and I was boiling lobster down in the hold of the ship while we were drinking beer, playing cards.
There we go.
Back to the hate. What did you need? I know a guy. Let's go see Mike.
The bosun's mates loved me. They always had their refrigerators full of cold cuts and whatever they wanted.
Nice.
I took care of them.
I know that was important. Yeah.
But that's the way you do it.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just brothers. And we never had females. They started putting females on the aircraft carrier.
Really?
On the aircraft carriers.
Yes.
Not the submarines, sir.
No. Now there is females.
Definitely now, yeah.
Yes.
I can't even imagine what that'd be.
Yeah,
like.
that's very, to me, I couldn't imagine either. But
what do you, how do you even escape that down?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
Eventually we'll come across one and she'll sit on the podcast and we'll figure it out.
We'll get that launched off. Huh?
Yeah, really. But on the carrier, they put 120 females, and we did a 6-month cruise.
Yeah.
And 90 of them came out back pregnant.
I wonder why.
Wow. and
90?
and 120. Most of them were married.
Yeah.
So,
No, that doesn't surprise me either.
What?
So figure that one out.
So then that was included with a lot of Article 15s and some.
I didn't get involved.
knows?
I just kept cooking.
Who knows? Wow.
The question is, what were you cooking?
What were you cooking? Yeah, this is
I
not
would never
exclusive
tell.
to the Navy. In Iraq, we had the same situation. E5, E3. Yeah. But this included a 9/16 that was attempted suicide into a clay building that never got pulled off. I laughed about that one for days.
But we actually,
Poor guy.
I mean, even on the aircraft carrier, I got to fly off and go order stores from like Italy. Me and a lieutenant would go fly off, and we'd be there for a couple weeks ahead of the ship.
So what's some of the coolest ports on the carrier you ever pulled into?
On the carrier, I loved Benidorm, Spain.
Spain? Okay. Benidorm, huh?
Never been there yet.
That
I've
was
been to Palma during spring break in Palma. I've never been to Benidorm though.
Benidorm was great.
Okay.
It's just an island. Everybody from Norway is over there.
Okay.
That's where they are on vacation at.
Okay.
And it's like, in Rome, do as the Romans do. It was nice.
Let me interject for just a second. Pardon my abruptness. Would you please introduce our friend to the left?
Oh, James?
Yeah.
Hey, James. How you doing over here?
Doing well.
Hey, man. I was just letting you hang out. I thought you were just enjoying yourself. You're throwing a couple giggles in, but
He is, yeah. Just out of respect, we want to introduce our friend James over here, and James will be speaking with us soon. But
Okay.
thought it'd be right and said proper to introduce you while we're into it. But yeah, that's time. Game on, game back on. But
And Italy was nice.
you been to Spain, James?
No.
See, that's
Not
one
me
thing
neither.
I thought about the
Me
Navy.
neither.
We traveled.
see, but working on aircrafts, I got on an LHA and I went to Spain, I went to Rome, I went to Italy, I went to different places, and then flying in and out of countries. We stayed at the Azores Islands and some other different stuff like that. Went with the running at the Bulls in the Azores. Like, I've done a lifetime worth of stuff, and it's just because I got the correct orders in the Marine Corps.
And would you have ever done that in a civilian life?
No, but there's people who got orders in the Marine Corps and they never left Yuma, Arizona for 10 years.
Right. Yeah,
You know,
got the
like-
right orders. I have been all over the world, and I mean Amsterdam, Rotterdam, all those places when I was on submarines. And
Okay.
that was, Holy Lock, Scotland, pulling up with the Queen of England,
What?
and actually worked on one of the Queen's boats to supply. And
What an experience! What a story!
Yeah.
the Queen of England, the best job ever in the military, the best job.
So, Commander.
The Queen's. There's a guy who would sit at the end of the table, and every bottle of wine that was open, he had to test it.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure it wasn't poison. And
Okay.
he had to wait 5 minutes, and if he didn't die, then the bottle got passed around the table. But at the end of the night, the guy's wasted.
What happens when he
He's still
wasted
doing
and he
that
just
ceremony.
passes out? They're like, well, he's passed out. We're not drinking anymore.
It's over with.
Yeah, get another one over here, please.
Oh, yeah. Next taster up.
It's great stories and great times, and I mean, I met people all over, and I enjoyed it. And I got friends of mine still to this day that was on the carrier with me that some of us keep in touch. Some
Of course.
Yeah.
Some people can't handle outside civilian life.
That the transition's real
Yeah.
because you go from one
Talk
extreme
about
of
that.
doing something where you have such a purpose and you feel a purpose and you're in this camaraderie, this group, and you go back to a world that it feels like the only person that cares about your success is you, and there's nobody else, no support system, nothing there other than your family, but you don't want to ruin the image that you've built yourself of this superior person by going and asking for help. So it's really hard to ask them, even though
It is.
you were raised with them and everything else. You don't want to ruin that own image of yourself, so it's hard.
And I know in my generation, and we're about the same age probably, in our generation, you was, as a man, you didn't ask for help.
The same with our generation. You want to be
It's passed
viewed
down.
as a man. Like I want my father to look at me as a grown man. I don't want him to still look at me as a kid.
Am
I want
I
him to
weak
look at me as
because
an
I asked
equal.
for help?
So I'd be
Yes.
weak if I asked him for any type of help whatsoever. It's more like, hey, can I help you? Even though I'm the one that's struggling, I need to help you so I feel like I'm of purpose.
And that's the same thing what comes on to with the PTSD.
Yes.
Okay. Me, it never bothered me being on a submarine. But now, try to get me into a tight quarters. It's not
Yeah.
going to happen.
You don't have the purpose to be there. Why? Why
But
would
I
I
never
get in this
thought
little
about
camper shower if I don't have to?
I never thought about it back then, how dangerous it really was. I never thought about it, and I was sitting back a few months ago talking to a neighbor across the street, and we was in my shop. And I was thinking, I really didn't realize how dangerous that job was, being on a submarine.
Tell me about it.
Well, as a young man, you just look at all the positives of what you've got going for you. You're like, cool, I'm down. Let's go.
Adrenaline rush. I was, but now as an older gentleman sitting back, it's like, oh, wow. Was I stupid? No, I mean,
right.
I did it because my heart tells me to do for this country.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the greatest country in the world, and we have to live as it is. So as a kid, I felt that I was paying homage to my family, and to everybody else.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you made a great explanation of it earlier, Mike. Is that you said you're formed into the shape that you're made and required to present and to perform at a level that somebody in public doesn't quite understand. Your explanation of this is we men sit here, we pass down from our generations on how to act, on top of already having an institutionalized long-term effect of how we're transformed into something. That doesn't change once our contracts are over. Most of us are walking out with glasses on, proverbial glasses, trying to study a place that we're not even used to and how to live.
How did somebody put that one time? If you walk a mile, walk an inch, a mile in my shoes or something like that, you would see what.
Yeah, you walk a mile in my shoes, and
it's like, oh, well, you were just a cook.
Well, no. I mean, yeah.
That's what I get. I get that a lot. You were just a cook. Let me tell you something about the cook. The cook got the most respect out of that whole boat, because if it wasn't for us, you wasn't eating right. Mm-hmm. And if we don't keep your morale up. And that's a big morale booster, is that food.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big morale booster. Man, you know how much they look forward to on a Friday when we got lobster or king crab leg and steak?
Well, but
it's all mental.
But also before they ever go on their mission, they don't know exactly how long to stock you up for. So you're not exactly sure as a cook. It's your job to ration out the rations for the entire time you're going to be down there. So I mean, it's not like you can make steak and lobster every day because everybody's going to be happy. Then you're like, what happened to all the steak and lobster? And also nothing's ever actually fresh. You're working with these different things that you're giving you. Thank God you're Cajun on the submarine, so people are falling in love with it.
I had a lot of gumbo I cooked. A lot of gumbo and jambalaya.
Exactly, because a little bit of rice, it goes a long way.
And you're also on a budget, so you have to, like at the end of the quarter, we would do a big picnic, but we had money left over because I would cook meals that wasn't so expensive.
Yeah.
And all the money that was left over, we used for certain things. And if you didn't use it at the end of the year,
it disappears.
Took it back. It disappeared.
Use or lose.
Exactly.
And they give you less the next year. The way military budgets work sucks, but yeah.
Yes. You didn't use enough, so you don't need that much.
And believe me, we used it.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So
they might not have liked you, but they loved your cooking, didn't they?
So we're at 22 minutes. Any final words of wisdom?
If you're young and you don't know what to do, join the military.
Starting off with your original words of wisdom, huh?
The original.
I got it. It don't get any better.
I preach it.
Please visit our website at
I see too many young kids
VFW Post
going on a wayward path.
424.org. That's Victor Foxtrot Whiskey.
Yeah.
Just thank you for joining us again and how we're
all of our contact information is in the description of the video.
Thank our guests for coming
Please
here.
email us if you have
Continue to seek for the truth. And
we now have a moment of silent prayer
for those still in the battle. Thank you for joining us.
For our departed comrades, for those missing in action, and for those held as prisoners of war.